alaikum. Our next guest does not need an introduction, but he is pressed for time. He has a flight that's about to leave soon. So I will ask the Honourable Leader of the Liberal Federal Party of Canada, the Honourable Justin Trudeau, to please take the stage. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. It is a true pleasure and honor for me to be gathered among you today celebrating. I want to recognize everyone here in this room, but also give my very best to the women and children as well who are with us, and emphasize just how extraordinary it is to see a community come together with the positive message that underpins the Ahmadiyya celebration. We are in a country that has figured out how to make differences and diversity a source of strength and not a source of weakness. And although it is easier always to divide and to find fault and to look for differences between us and our neighbors, it is not only more important, but it is also a greater path to success for ourselves as individuals and as a society to spend our time focusing on the things we have in common, the shared dreams we have for ourselves, for our families, for our children, the hopes to live in a country of peace and prosperity where, as you say it so beautifully, there is love for all and hatred for none. That is the challenge we have before us, not just here in Canada, but around the world, where conflict, where resource depletion, where extreme weather events and climate change, or overpopulation are always going to lead to stresses of conflict and a tendency to point fingers and lay blame at others. But we must instead reach out. We must instead understand that as we work together to build a better world on these values, these hopes, these dreams that we all share, then we are truly building towards the kind of future we hope to leave to our children and grandchildren. So it is in this thought, which, yes, is very much reflective of the Ahmadiyya teachings, but is also very much reflective of the principles and values that underlie your country, Canada. This is the Canada we choose to build together. This is the Canada I and all of us who serve in Parliament strive very hard to fulfill every single day, and this is why I am so touched by your warm welcome, by your support, and mostly by your continued commitment to building a better world, not just for yourselves and your children, but for your neighbors and the entire community that surrounds us. So I thank you very much for all that you do. I wish you a blessed Ramadan starting in a week, and may peace and blessings be upon you.
Our local Member of Parliament for the City of Vaughan, where our national headquarters is, the Honourable Minister of Veteran Affairs, Julian Fantino. I would like him to ask him to come and say a few words, please.
Assalamu alaikum. To Mr. President Malik, to all of the distinguished guests, Mayor McCallion, congratulations indeed, very well deserved. Hazel, God bless you. And to all of you, I am indeed deeply honored and very proud to be with you again at your annual convention. I'm deeply moved always as I see the faces, the numbers of people the gatherings that are very much part of the Emadian community, when you come together to pray for the kinds of things that matter deeply, and not only the life of our country, but of your homeland as well, where you are well entitled to observe your faith, to practice your faith, to do it in a spirit and environment of freedom and respect for your rights, the rights of others, the respect for all of us as a society. I'm deeply impressed always by the kind of work that you do, not only at home, but also around the world, caring and sharing with those in greater need, as is often the case with your very wonderful Humanity First organization. The kinds of work that you do, your charity, the fact that you touch people deeply, those who are most in need in the most difficult circumstances in the impoverished parts of the world. You have not, and you are not leaving those people behind. And for that, you should be very proud, and we should all thank you for your contribution, and certainly the leadership of the Emadian community for the work that you do and the outreach that is very much part of your belief system. These are not idle words that you speak when we talk about love for all and hatred for none. And also, more profoundly, you go on to say that your faith advocates peace, tolerance, love, and understanding among followers of different faiths. This is what Canada is all about. I, like most of you, are immigrants to this country. We come here to not only enjoy the quality of life that is very precious, but also, as you do, and as most Canadians do, to make a contribution to the wonderful place that we now call our home. And I'm here, along with my colleagues, to certainly bring greetings on behalf of the Prime Minister, who has sent those greetings forward, and I'm going to read them to you. I'm pleased to extend my warmest greetings to everyone attending the 38th Jalsa Salana, the annual convention of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat Canada. This event offers an important opportunity to enhance your understanding of your faith and its teachings in a spirit of mutual respect, peace, and fellowship. I am sure that you will find a great inspiration in the gatherings, and indeed, your presence reaffirms the strength of your religious community and the profound devotion of the Ahmadiyya Muslim throughout Canada. I trust that you will embrace the convention's many meaningful messages and that you will find the experience an enriching one. Please accept my warmest wishes for a memorable convention, and it's signed by Stephen Harper, the Right Honourable and Prime Minister of Canada. And I just wish to extend best wishes for continued success in your conference. May Allah's blessings be upon you and your family and your community. Thank you.
Islam Ahmadiyya, Julian Fandango.
We were going to do the educational awards, but I think what we'll do is I will ask the Honourable, Mr. Stephen Del Duca, representing the Premier of Ontario, Kathleen Wynne, to come and say a few words on behalf of the Ontario government.
Assalamu alaikum. It's a pleasure for me to be here today with all of you, as I've been in the past, but it's particularly a great honor because I'm joined here today with a number of my colleagues. I want to take a quick moment to introduce. We have Amrit Mangat from Mississauga, Brampton South. Arthur Potts, newly elected in Beaches, East York. Mitzi Hunter from Scarborough, Guildwood. Mr. Bob Delaney from Mississauga, Streetsville. Dr. Shafiq Qadri from Etobicoke North. And Han Dong, newly elected in Trinity, Spadina. So I know that it gives all of us, as members of the Ontario Legislature, a great deal of pleasure to be here with all of you today on behalf of Premier Kathleen Wynne. And in just a quick moment, I will go through the official greeting from the Premier. But I wanted to say, as thrilled as I am to be here with all of my colleagues representing different ridings from across the GTA, I am particularly delighted, particularly proud, because as the Member of Provincial Parliament for Vaughan, I have the wonderful opportunity, the wonderful honor to represent, as was mentioned, the national headquarters, Peace Village in the community of Maple in my riding of Vaughan. And it's been an honor for me to come year after year over the last number of years, from even a time before I was first elected to the legislature, to be here with all of you. And today, as with every other convention that I've had the opportunity to attend, we've heard some very eloquent and very powerful remarks brought forward, not only by elected officials, but by some of the scholars that have been here to talk to all of us about how important it is to make sure that the words love for all and hatred for none are not simply words, that they're a code through which all of us should do our best to live, not just in those words themselves, but as being said by others, including Mayor McCallion, through the deeds and actions and how we carry out ourselves and how we carry out our lives. And I know that it was mentioned earlier as well, and I know in just a second we're going to have some of the folks come forward to receive education awards, but to look out across this room and to see the gathering in its totality and to see so many young people and to learn and to know that they're going to grow up in an environment where that code, where that message is something that is wedded to their very core, is something that bodes extremely well, not only for the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, but also for the entire province of Ontario and, dare I say, the country of Canada. So to all of you, regardless of where you live, I want to say you deserve a great deal of accolade, a great deal of congratulations for the work that you do and the spirit that embodies the work that takes place. And so I'm going to take just a quick moment to read the official greeting from Premier Kathleen Wynne. On behalf of the Government of Ontario, I am delighted to welcome everyone to the 38th Annual Ahmadiyya Muslim Convention. This gathering is more than a convention. It's an opportunity for personal growth, spiritual insight, and a more profound understanding of Allah and His Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. It is also an opportunity to build an even stronger community. Ontario is proud to be home to a dynamic Ahmadiyya Muslim community whose faith embraces nonviolence and tolerance for all religions. These are values that resonate with the ideals that we live by as a diverse, multicultural, and inclusive society. I commend the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat for organizing this convention. Our government will continue to work with you and other ethno-cultural and religious communities to build a stronger, better Ontario now and for future generations. Please accept my best wishes for an enlightening gathering. And it's signed, the Honourable Kathleen Wynne, Premier of Ontario. Thanks very much.
The Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat is an integral part of the Canadian fabric. Its members serve humanity and promote love for all, hatred for none. Regretfully, and as we are all aware, in many parts of the world, fundamental human rights of Ahmadis are violated, including through state-sponsored persecution. On June 9, 2014, the Parliamentary Friends of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat Canada was strengthened by formulating 3 founding co-chairs. The Parliamentary Friends of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat creates awareness of these violations and promotes adherence to values of human dignity and freedom of religion. Our three chairs worked hard to establish membership of the Friends Association to 39 members of Parliament and growing, for what we are grateful for. Today, we would like to present our core chairs with a certificate of our appreciation. Our three chairs are Honorable Judy Segro, Honorable Kyle Seaback, and Honorable Ginny Sims. Honorable Sims could not be with us today, so I would please request that Mr. Lal Khan Malik, the National President of the Ahmadi Muslim Community, and our two co-chairs that are at the head table, please be on my left for us to present the certificates. Mr. Aslam Shah is from Vancouver, and he'll be receiving Ginny Sims' certificate and will deliver it to her in her office in Vancouver. As I had mentioned earlier, there were approximately over 50 dignitaries that have joined us today, and it's always a challenge to figure out who we request to speak. We try to select those few that represent most of the people on the stage. So my first guest speaker that I will ask to say a few words, of course, are from our head table, the two co-chairs, and I would like to request the Honorable Judy Segro to address the audience. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so very, very much for that honor of receiving that wonderful award. I can say, along with my colleagues Kyle Seaback and Jenny Sims, we take a real honor in having the opportunity to continue to move forward on love for all and hatred for none. It is a shared statement by all of us in Canada, and I thank you for sharing that with us. We must all come together and continue to work together to ensure that that message is shared with the rest of the world. I'm pleased to be joined on stage by Dr. Kirsty Duncan and the Honourable John McKay. The Honourable Justin Trudeau was here earlier and delivered his message of peace, love and understanding to all of you, and of much gratitude for actually choosing to live in Canada and to help us promote peace and to build a great nation. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Honourable Segro. And our second co-chair, and I would like to thank both of them and Ginny Sims for the wonderful work they have done in building the membership of this Parliamentary Friendship Association to a quick 39 members. And I know they're going to be working as hard to build that membership up even further. We look forward to having 100 members in the Friendship Association, inshallah, helping all the causes that are with the Jamaat around the world. Honourable Kyle Seaback.
It's my great pleasure to be here. I think this is my 7th attendance, and I'm always blown away by the message. Of course, love for all, hatred for none. Sometimes God works in mysterious ways, and today it has. I actually am here with my two children who are over sitting on to the left, and what a great opportunity for them to learn about the Ahmadiyya community and the message of love for all and hatred for none. The other message I think is exceptional is love of country is part of faith. And I know that everyone here are proud Canadians just like I am, and I'm proud to be the co-chair of the Parliamentary Friendship Group. I have some great colleagues here with me today, Bob Deckert, Stella Ambler, Selma Hatzalujan, and Vladislav Lizon, and my colleague Patrick Brown as well, all friends of the Ahmadiyya community. Thank you for having me here. Assalamu alaikum.
We have mayors of several cities that have joined us this evening. I would like to ask the mayor, first from Bradford, West Gwillimbury, Doug White, to please address the audience.
Assalamu alaikum. You know, when Her Worship Hazel McCallion was given the award, it was very, very fitting, because her legacy in Mississauga is building a city where everybody is welcome, everybody is respected, everybody is asked to contribute, so everybody benefits. And that is exactly what we're trying to do in Bradford, West Gwillimbury. We're a small town of about 32,000 people between here and Barrie along Highway 400. We now have close to 100 Ahmadiyya families that call our town home, and that's growing every week. We have a small mosque, and I'm very proud that we have one. And also, when I came here earlier this afternoon on the big screen, I saw coverage of pictures of your youth annual convention and your seniors annual convention, both of which were hosted in Bradford, West Gwillimbury. And I'm enormously proud of that. And I want to welcome many of you back to our town, August 15th, 16th, and 17th for the Kudom, and for the seniors convention, which will be the following week. And the Ahmadiyya community also owns 250 acres in our great town, and the thought has been planted that perhaps that would be a great location for this convention at some point down the road. And let me leave this thought with you. We're ready for that when you are. So, thank you very much. Shukriya.
Thank you, Your Worship. Also joining us from the town of Bradford, West Gwillimbury is Councillor Raj Sandhu. If I could ask you to please stand up. Councillor Raj Sandhu. Earlier, of course, we had Her Worship Hazel McCallion representing the city of Mississauga. Also here with us today at my back is the Councillor Ron Starr. And of course, in the front row, Councillor Bonnie Crombie. Thank you kindly for being with us. Representing the city of Brampton, we have with us the Regional Councillor John Sanderson. And now I would like Her Worship Susan Fennell to come and address the audience. No stranger to the community. Her Worship, Mrs. Fennell.
Assalamu alaikum. What a great honor it is once again to join you. I believe I've joined you for every Ahmadiyya convention since first elected in 1988, other than a few years ago when I had double knee surgery, but I received so many well wishes from so many of you, and it must have worked because I feel terrific. And many of the students who were recently receiving awards just moments ago, I was listening for the number of people in the School of Medicine. We thank you as parents for encouraging young people to a higher education and to work hard for a bright future here in Canada. I am so proud to be the mayor of the people of the great city of Brampton. I was proud to be introduced to the Ahmadiyya community by the late Mayor Ken Willans, and we have formed a friendship that has spawned almost 3 decades. I was honored to be on the stage of the opening of the greatest mosque in Calgary, and then just was it a year ago, to be invited and able to attend in Delta, BC to the opening of the new mosque. And very soon we're looking forward to Brampton's turn. Absolutely. Now, I know the mosque in Calgary is a very large mosque, and I know the plans in Brampton aren't quite as large, but I know that the hearts and the truth and the honesty that will occur and be shared from this home in Brampton will be sending a special signal, because Brampton is such a culturally diverse community. Yes, we are multilingual, but we are also multi-faith. And we are a community of deep faith where people can live, work, play, and pray in peace. I am proud of Brampton's deep faith, and thank you for being such faithful disciples of God and ensuring that our light in Brampton shines as an example to the entire world, that the human race can live in peace together, side by side, and that happens every single day in the city of Brampton. Thank you for honoring my colleague, Her Worship Mayor Hazel McCallion. I've worked with Hazel now for 24 years. Her legacy will carry on. She will carry on. I'm proud to be on the stage with many mayors from around the GTA, and I see my colleague where the main home of the Amity community in Vaughan, Mayor Bevilacqua. It's always a pleasure, sir, to share with you with different groups of people. And today, a very special day as we begin the first day of summer. May you have a spectacular season ahead. I look forward to the Brampton Mosque being built, and I know in Brantford, where there's so much land, there is so much opportunity for large conventions. I just thank God for all of you and what you have contributed to Canada, to Brampton, and to all of our communities that you're in. God bless. Islam alaikum.
Thank you kindly, Mayor, for your kind words. We have joining us from Richmond Hill, where I went to high school, we have our local councillor here, Vito Spadafora. Thank you. And of course, we have His Worship, Mayor Dave Barrow. If I could request Dave Barrow, the Mayor of Richmond Hill, to please address the audience.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here, and Mr. President and table guests and elected colleagues. I bring you greetings from the town of Richmond Hill, and I thank you for the invitation each year to join you in this the 38th annual convention. And I truly believe that all of us here enhance our understanding and education of Islam and the traits and the values that were spoken about earlier, because those are the traits and values that we try to build our own communities on with everyone. So I congratulate you. And I know that every day people choose communities all through the GTA and Richmond Hill for their home, and we thank you for that. And certainly I believe that all of our towns and cities benefit from the Islamic faith and those that bring it to our communities. Thank you very much. Love for all, hatred for none. Assalamu alaikum.
Zindabad. We have joining us from the municipality of Oakville, I would like to introduce Councillor Max Khan. Max, if you could please stand up. Jazakallah for being here again. He's always been at our events almost every year. And a new attendee from the municipality of Milton, Councillor Zishan Hamid. Jazakallah for being here as well. And also from Milton, the town of Milton, Councillor Colin Best. We've had several guests that have been here with us today. I'd like to read out some of the names. They've been former members of Parliament or provincial Parliament or municipal government, but they've been friends of ours and have always joined us at these events. The first, of course, being Mary Amina, the Honourable Mary Amina. Thank you. Linda Jeffrey, I'm not sure if she's still here, but Linda Jeffrey. Umar Al-Ghabra, Navdeep Bains, Mr. Steve Mahoney. Thank you. Mr. John Tory, whom we've known for many years. Brian Chamberlain, I believe he might be on my left or my right. Mary O'Ferry. From the provincial government, and I believe he's left already, but I'd also like to thank Mr. Jagmeet Singh, Member of Provincial Parliament, for being with us today as well. Our last speaker from the elected officials will be the mayor of the city where our national headquarters is, the city of Vaughan. His title goes by His Worship, the Honorable Chevalier Maurizio Bevilacqua.
Assalamu alaikum. I want to, Asif told me, keep your remarks brief, and I shall, Mr. President. And what do you do when you're given 60 seconds to speak? You do the most important thing, and that is you express gratitude. Gratitude to the Ahmadiyya Muslim community for your incredible capacity to enrich our city of Vaughan. You have been able, through contemplative action, bring about positive change to our community and indeed our country. I want to thank you for the Run for Vaughan, for helping us build the hospital in the city of Vaughan that it's coming very soon. I want to thank you for the blood donor clinic, very symbolic of what you're all about. Giving people, people who care for each other, people who understand that ultimately the purpose of life is to be there for one another, to be of service to one another, to enrich our lives and make it a better world by giving it all we can, to improve the quality of life and standard of living of all those who inhabit it. I want to thank you for your great faith and for your promotion of interfaith dialogue in a world that is forever seeking answers to fundamental questions of how can we together live in harmony and peace. I want to thank you for that as well. Ultimately, it is for us, here as members of council, a distinct privilege to be the city of the national headquarters. Beautiful mosque, beautiful community center, Mr. Malik, as well. And for all those reasons and many more, on behalf of the entire council, I want to express my warmest and sincerest gratitude for all that you represent. And that is the very best of what Canadian citizenship is truly all about, and that is being caring, compassionate individuals focused on the higher purpose of being there for each other. And for that, we will forever grateful. I want to introduce to you some of my colleagues that are here who share in my belief that you do represent the very best of what citizenship is truly all about. Marinai Afredi is here. Regional Councillor Deb Schultz is here. Michael DiBiase is here. Regional Councillor Michael DiBiase. And Deputy Mayor Gina Rosati. Thank you all.
Islam Ahmadiyya, City of Vaughan.
Also from the city of Vaughan, they've left a little early, but they were with us for most of the afternoon, evening, was Councillor Tony Corella and Councillor Sandra Young-Rocco. So thank you kindly. I'd like to specifically also thank Senator Salma Talajan. She did leave, but she was here, and she mentioned to me that she's at every Jalsa Salana, and we could give up her speaking spot this time. So I do thank her for being here and for being so accommodating with us. At the same time, Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Justice, who's already been introduced, but the Honourable Bob Deckard, I wanted to specifically acknowledge Bob Deckard for being with us today. Thank you kindly. We have from the York Regional Police, Sergeant Paul Chang, who's with us. Now, Paul, if I could ask you to come here for a second. Paul was instrumental in providing a lot of the services that were required during the funeral procession of Dr. Mehdi Ali Qamar Shaheed that passed away and that was martyred in Pakistan. So I specifically wanted to thank the Chief of Police for York Regional Police, but also Sergeant Paul Chang for doing everything that he's done during that time. So thank you, Sergeant Paul Chang. And if any of you get a chance to speak with him afterwards, he's fluent in Urdu, correct? Okay. We have two very special guests with us as well here today. First is the Consul General Akhilesh Misra from the Republic of India. So if I could please request Consul General Misra to please address the audience.
Assalamu alaikum, esteemed friends. I'm indeed honored and privileged to be part of this beautiful convention. As you know, I'm relatively new to this great country, but it was my great fortune that as soon as I arrived in Toronto, I was fortunate to meet Amir, most respected Lal Khan Malik Saab, and the best photographer in GTA, Brother Bashir Nasir, who were not only very kind to invite me to visit Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat, but also made me part of their family. Friends, therefore I am here not only as Consul General of India, but also a member of your family. Also a member of your Jamaat and great admirer of your community. Through Bashir Sahab and Honorable Lal Khan Malik Sahab, the kind of affection and generosity and love that I have received from Ahmadiyya Muslim community of Canada, I am deeply touched, deeply privileged. I am so grateful to you all. प्यार के पैगाम से बढ़कर कोई पैगाम नहीं, प्यार के पैगाम से बढ़कर कोई पैगाम नहीं, आज के दौर में इससे बड़ा इनाम नहीं। Your community has been in the forefront of promoting the message of love, love for all, without any discrimination, and hatred for none. You deserve compliments and salutations and admiration of all of us. As part of our diplomatic career, I have served in many countries. This is my 7th foreign assignment. And in each one, I was very blessed to have wonderful friends from your community. But I can tell you that the Ahmadiyya Muslim community of Canada is simply exceptional, absolutely unique and unparalleled in your kindness, generosity, warmth, and your overall profile. And I'm so happy that this is because the traditional Ahmadiyya values of universal brotherhood, peace, justice, love, and goodwill for all get multiplied many times by the glorious Canadian virtues of inclusive and harmonious pluralism, multiculturalism, and more importantly, the pervasive, profound sense of community and fairness. Coming from a country that very proudly hosts the Holy Land of Kadian and also very proudly hosts so many members from your community, I deeply cherish, deeply applaud, and deeply admire your role and your very positive contribution in this society and the rest of the world. Your community has been in the forefront of promotion of the true, genuine spirituality, tolerance, and peaceful coexistence, building of bridges of understanding to intellectual dialogue, and complete, categorical, unambiguous rejection of all forms of terrorism. These values, your approach, your philosophy of life are extremely relevant and precious for Canada, for India, and for all multicultural, multi-ethnic, multilinguistic societies. Friends, Ahmadiyya friend has told me that once, that if you look in the world, all those people who are suffering, they are suffering because they are in pursuit of happiness and pleasures for themselves. And if you look at the faces of people who are happy, they are happy because they are pursuing happiness and well-being for others. Your community has been pioneering the spirit of selfless public service and love and compassion for all human beings. And this is a marvelous unifying and harmonizing force. अजीब दर्द का रिश्ता है सारी दुनिया में, कहीं भी जलता मकान अपना घर लगे है मुझे. I'm so grateful to all friends in Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat for spreading this message of love for all without any discrimination of ethnicity, language, nationality of origin. You treat all human beings as human beings. Friends, let me end my remarks with my prayer. My prayer is for the great success of this Jamaat, this convention, and your continued happiness, well-being, and success. I'm always with you, and my prayers are always with you for peace, brotherhood, and love among all human beings. The only wish and prayer that I have is, oh Lord, make me a true human being. नहीं है, यह मेरी ख्वाहिश नहीं है कि जर्रे से मुझे तूफान बना दे. इलाही, मेरी हस्ती को मिटाकर मेरी मिट्टी से एक इंसान बना दे.
Dear Mr. Saab, those are very kind words. And in the way that you've shown kindness and affection for us, we have the same love and affection for the country of India. It's our motherland as well. Thank you very much. Also, a very special country to us, of course, is Pakistan. And today we have the designate Consul General here with us, Mr. Asghar Ali Golo. And I would please ask him to say a few words to the audience.
Assalamu alaikum, the pride of Pakistan. Lal Khan, Sahab, with your permission, because most of my words, I think you know telepathy, because most of my words and sentiments were said by Consul General Akhilesh Mishra. I will just say a few words in Urdu with your permission. प्यारे बहनों भाइयों अस्सलामु अलैकुम मुझे आज यहाँ आके इंतहाई खुशी और मुसरत हुई जब मैंने ज़्यादातर अपने भाइयों को देख रहा हूँ शलवार कमीज़ में मैं भी अक्सर शलवार कमीज़ में ही घूमता फिरता हूँ क्योंकि आज कहीं और जाना था तो मैं आज वेस्टर्न क्लैड में आ गया लेकिन आपका एक बहुत अहम मकाम है पूरी दुनिया में जिसमें हमारे मुल्क का जो नाम रोशन किया है आपने सबसे ज़्यादा प्रोफेशनल सबसे ज़्यादा एस्ट्यूट बिजनेसमैन कम्युनिटी लीडर्स पैदा करके और मुझे आए हुए यहाँ पर कुछ ही ऐसा हुआ है लेकिन आप सबके साथ बल्कि जिस दिन मैं आया था उसके दूसरे ही दिन मेरी मुलाकात हुई थी लाल खान साहब के साथ हाई कमिश्नर के साथ मैं आया था तो हमारा बहुत अच्छा राब्ता है हमारा बहुत अच्छा ताल्लुक़ है इसको इंशाअल्लाह ताला मज़ीद बढ़ाएंगे आपसे गुजारिश ये है कि आप एक अजीम मुल्क में रह रहे हैं जो कसीरुल जिसको मल्टी कल्चरलिज़म और का ये एक सुतून है इसमें हमारे लिए बहुत ये अहम है कि हमारा जो राब्ता है अपने मुल्क के साथ वो कायम रहे और उसका एक अहम जुज़ जो है वो हमारी ज़बान है और मैं जितने भी हमारे दोस्त हैं मैं उनसे जब मिलता हूँ तो मुझे बहुत खुशी होती है कि वो अपनी मादरी ज़बान में हम कलाम होते हैं लेकिन मेरी आपसे एक गुजारिश यही होगी कि आप जितना मुमकिन है आप एज़ अ पेरेंट अपने बच्चों के साथ अपनी ज़बान में बात करें बल्कि ये चीज़ यहाँ पर बहुत सराही जाती है कि ये क्योंकि कसीरुल सकाफ़ती मुल्क है तो यहाँ पे जितनी ज़बानें बोली जाती हैं तो वो उसमें कनाडा का स्टेटस बढ़ता है तो इंशाअल्लाह ताला हमारा राब्ता कायम रहेगा मुझे आप लोगों पे बहुत फ़ख्र है और हम इकट्ठा मिल के जितने भी मसाइल हल करेंगे बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया जी
Jazakallah. Before our next speaker for the afternoon, I would like to request father and son, a well-known personality in the Sikh community, both of them. Firstly, of course, the father, Tiger Jeet Singh, who was a professional wrestler for 22 years, and his son, who was also a wrestler, Tiger Ali Singh. But amongst their profession, they have now also become humanitarians. And I would like to request the both of them to please come up and say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum, Sat Sri Akal. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate our Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat on the 38th annual convention. Great success, and you're leaving a great legacy and also an opportunity for great education for all humanity. Secondly, we'd love to congratulate, she had to leave, but her worship, our Hazel McCallion, for unbelievable achievement as being the mayor. Thirdly, I would like for you to please indulge me. I'm not a professional speaker, I'm a professional wrestler. So I don't have any pre-scripts. This is going to come right from the heart. Several years ago, we were introduced to our Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat. And over those years, I can sincerely tell you that as I look out on all of you, I do not see people of a different faith. I see an extension of my family. I see my brothers. I've been very honored and privileged to get to know our worship, Mr. Malik Saab. I actually, in private, I refer to him as our Uncle G. He's grown very, very close to ourselves, our family, and also the congregation at the mosque in Vaughan. We've had many visits, and over these several years, we've got to know that we have actually more in common. Our beautiful Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat's love for all, hatred for none. We too share a philosophy at our Tiger Jeet Singh Foundation that sickness and poverty do not discriminate, and neither should the spirit of giving. And when we travel throughout the world, it doesn't matter what country, if it's in the Middle East, India, Pakistan, the Orient, Americas, we have thousands and thousands of wrestling fans that come out to support us. That should show the world that not only do you have to be one of the elite wrestling superstars to bring people together, that we should all come together regardless, because we have more in common than we do that makes us different. And this is now the vehicle that we're using of our professional wrestling to bridge the ignorance that is amongst humanity, because fear is bred by ignorance, the lack of knowledge. And once we have an opportunity to educate our people that we have more in common, it is just an unbelievable, overwhelming, blessed feeling that we get when we look out in the crowd and we see our Muslims, we see our Hindus, we see our Sikhs, our Christians, we see our Catholics, we see everyone coming together. And that's what we want. That's what we feel, both my father and I have been blessed on earth, not from the professional wrestling, but to use professional wrestling to bring humanity together. We are here to celebrate with you, but also to extend a personal invitation to all our family of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat to come out and watch Tiger Fest. I've made calls to all my friends in the WWE that you see on the television. They're all going to be coming and donating their services because they believe in the same principles: love for all, hatred for none. So on July 1st, I would love to thank Her Worship, our Mayor, Susan Fennell, and the City of Brampton. They will be hosting our 6th annual Tiger Fest Wrestling Extravaganza. It is free for the entire population to come out and visit and to see firsthand how the miracle of sports brings peace. They're expected, they told me, over 100,000 people will converge at Chinguzi Park in Brampton on July 1st, and I hope to see all my family members of Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat to be there. Out of respect for our visit today, I'm not sure if he's here, he was doing seva, he was telling me. Farhan, he is an unbelievable amateur wrestler, came from Pakistan. He's actually doing some community service here. He texted me today. I am personally going to invite him out to join Team Tiger on July 1st and represent our Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat at Tiger Fest. Last but not least, I hope you will join me in welcoming now to say a few words in Punjabi, not only my father, my hero, my Guruji, my mentor in life, the living legend who they just named a new public school in Milton after, the great one, Tiger Jeet Singh.
मेरे सत्कारयोग बुजुर्गों ते भरावो, मैं सोडा बहुत बहुत शुक्रगुजार हां जेड़ा सानू अज स्टेज ते लिया के मलिक साहब ने तुहाडे नाल प्यार नाल दो गल्लां करन दा मौका दिता। मैं आपदे वल्लियों आपदे परिवार वल्लियों अहमदिया जमात नू लख लख बधाइयां दिना है। रब सानू चढ़दियां कलां च रखे। वाहिगुरू जी खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह।
Before we break for dinner and before I request Amir Saab to close the session, we have a special guest that has just joined us at the head table. He is the Honorable Chris Alexander, who prior to his current role as Minister of Immigration served as the Ambassador for Canada to the country of Afghanistan. So if I could please request Minister Alexander to address the audience.
Salam alaikum. Islam Ahmadiyya Zindabad. I'm very grateful to you, Muhtaram Amir Sahib, for including me in this closing session. I know that dinner is next. I'm very grateful to have been here to hear the words of Maulana Sahib, wise words. And I bring you greetings from all the Government of Canada, not just from my colleagues on the stage here, Kyle Seabag, and many others who are with us in spirit. The Member of Parliament for Mississauga South is here as well, Stella Ambler. We are all with you in spirit every day. And a long, grueling parliamentary session has just ended yesterday, so we are exhausted. I bring you greetings from Prime Minister Stephen Harper and from all the team that seek to serve you and all Canadians. Today is National Aboriginal Day. Next week is Saint Jean-Baptiste. Next week is Multiculturalism Day. And in 10 days' time, we have the big one, Canada Day, which I know we will all be celebrating from coast to coast to coast. But in this room, I am inspired by you. I think everyone who comes here for the first time is inspired by you to see you doing something that makes us great as a country. Talking freely, talking openly, being proud of your traditions, and practicing your freedom of religion, which we have fought for so hard in this country over generations, and which you embody like no one else. And that's why we are so proud that the Office of Religious Freedom was launched still not that long ago at Baitul Mosque in Maple, where so many of you worship. That's why we are so proud to be with you in standing firm in a world of turmoil and strife. Yes, it is a small community, but you are one community among many who have come from all parts of the world for the same purpose. And together we are strong in saying to the whole world that Canada stands for firm principles. The principle that we are all under the rule of law. That we are all committed to the deepest human values, human rights, and the deepest understanding that we can have of those. The commitment that Holy Scripture matters, that it is above us all, and that here on earth, borders also matter, and that they deserve to be respected in 2014 just as much as they have in any year in the time since the last World War, when we sought to come together as an international community and make rules that would govern nations for the sake of peace. Because we as Canadians are servants of peace. I see in everything you do a renewal of that commitment that is important not just for your community, but for all Canadians. As Minister of Immigration, I'm deeply worried about the situation in Syria, situation in Iraq, the strife in the Muslim world, and regrettably elsewhere. And we must do everything we can to protect Ahmadis, to protect other religious minorities, and to bring those who cannot help themselves, those facing death, persecution, to this country in the greatest numbers that we possibly can. That is our commitment as a country, to help refugees from all over this world. We will remain a beacon of hope, and we will remain strong by remaining together. It's an honor to be with you here today. Islam Ahmadiyya Zindabad. Canada Zindabad. Vive le Canada. Thank you very much for having me today.